last year. I had to put my snow tires back on.
I did see that there was some snow involved last year. Okay.
Yes. I saw that video of me struggling to get up the road.
Yeah, that was in my
With my
time hop
wires.
thing too. And then 6 years ago I bought the red M3 in Houston, and it was just gorgeous outside. And my throttle cable broke like 3 miles after I bought the car, so that was pretty cool.
Oh no.
Alrighty, let's do this. Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 160. I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky. Hello.
Hi.
How was
I was
your
taking a sip of
charcuterie?
my charcuterie is good. I was just taking a sip of my pina colada that I made.
God,
So,
you decadent bastard. In addition to Ryan, we also have Jana.
Hello.
yes.
Hi, Jana. And Shane. You decided to
Shane's
stick
sticking
around
around.
for another
Hello.
episode. Hopefully we get an entire unabridged episode this time. It's going to be good.
I don't have anything that good to say, so I'm sure the computer was just self-correcting that situation.
I don't even know what's going on in almost any of this stuff. I know folding at home is making this room extremely hot. Threadripper's working very hard, and there's a picture of a Honda City Urban EV on the screen, so that's all of which pretty good. But anyway, thanks everyone for showing up to this virtual shindig. Before we get going into topics, I do want to briefly remind everybody that there is a platform on the internet called Patreon, and on this platform there are several mechanics and methods for content consumers like you to directly support content producers like us.
Yeah.
Head on over to patreon.com/carbitrage if you'd like to take a look at those. As one of the many perks on there, it does automatically add you, if you're a Discord user, to our Discord chat, and that actually makes you eligible to join us in audio form on these quarantine episodes. So, once again, patreon.com/carbitrage.
All right.
So, moving right into topics, I want to talk about something that's actually sort of related to the screen that I just sort of leave up here on OBS, and that has to do with vehicle sales in our current pandemic, and how with super cheap fuel, you'd think that SUV sales of anything would be hurt the least, right? But apparently EVs are selling better than normal, and all other car sales are significantly down. And I'm curious as to why you guys think that that might be the case. I have a couple of things that come to mind immediately. I'm genuinely curious. That was my main thing.
My number one thing, I think it's wait times. And
Interesting.
it's a lot of people that were on wait times and they're not recording the sale until people pick up the car.
That's a really good point, because I've seen a lot of people that have ordered their car before the quarantine, and they're still taking delivery of them now. Huh,
Yeah,
that's fascinating.
I think that's what's going on. Gianna, what do you think?
I said
Gas
yes
stations?
to gas stations.
Yeah, gas pumps was one of my top items. What do you think, Shane? Do you have an opinion on this?
So I think it's all down to the typical wedge shape that the vehicle, your electric vehicle, is kind of formatted, that Prius kind of aerodynamic wedge shape. I think they're thinking ahead that human bodies will deflect and roll off that much smoother as we enter the Mad Max apocalypse.
So you're talking about pedestrian safety ratings being better on electric vehicles.
Well, internal safety ratings against pedestrians is really what I'm looking for, and that's
Could you
really an
imagine?
underdescribed metric, I think. On
I've actually never seen that advertised before.
So, think about it. You got your big ass, Suburban with its flat grill because it's got to meet its certain height. That's gonna stop. That's just gonna be a body rake. That's gonna just fill up with people.
Block your cooling system, overheat your engine.
That
strain
Prius
you.
is just gonna mow through that like a cow pusher, and you're gonna move. You're gonna get right where you're going.
That is, I like the very left field take on.
Speaking of that, I just did a very, very quick look, because the first thing I thought of was Mad Max, and I thought of Lord Humongous in his S&M wear, or his S&M fashion he's wearing. And actually, yes, S&M fashion sales have been through the roof during COVID. So
Great.
I think you might have. She might have a point.
I heard Amazon has a run on is low on inventory of vibrators. Actually, was what I was hearing too.
Well,
in an
luckily,
interesting news
grocery
article.
stores still have produce, so.
Yeah, you can still buy yourself a zucchini and Adam and Eve. This as well.
I want to see Mad Max SoCal edition, where it's just
Yeah.
all like conquered and ripped up like Model S's and Fiat 500Es and stuff because the
perfect.
gas is long gone, and there's just a bunch of really bondage-looking slave dudes on giant hamster wheels to charge up that
There's
Tesla
compounds
Model
around
X.
single solar panels.
Yeah, while guys with guns hang out the gull wing doors of their armored Model X.
Oh, you mean Falcon doors? Excuse me.
Yeah, think about it. You can stand pretty upright with that. You get one hand in there holding out. There's no door in front of you to stop you firing forward or backwards. It's perfect, really.
Wow. I mean, this. I am realizing now that I went far too skin deep on this particular story. I really
Universal's
thought
down
it
the street
was
from me. I might have to
avoiding
go
fuel
pitch
pumps.
this.
Yeah.
Do it up.
You never underestimate Lord Humongous.
Yep.
I mean,
He rides in on his Fisker Karma, and it's the only one around because
Can
he
you
can run
get
both
energy
fuels.
from composting?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so human composting was just legalized in Oregon. So
Yikes.
You want to?
in
You
this
want to?
dystopia, are we like composting
Lord Humongous
people
is
for
from
fuel?
Well, I mean, the actual method of like obtaining energy out of that, excuse me, I believe is usually just harvesting heat with like geothermal type of stuff,
Yeah.
or it's
It's
harvesting
super
methane
inefficient.
gas. Right. It's not. I mean, it's not really a viable means of powering a vehicle or anything like that. But
Darn, but in this movie, we could upsell that.
oh, sure,
Is that
just make it a
correct?
worker.
Shane, you mentioned a Fisker Karma. Now I'm even more excited because my idea is like wide open header, just like header pipes coming out the fender.
All four of them.
From its ecotech.
Yeah, with the doors ripped off, and like Lord Humongous is like hanging the roof of it, like swinging it. Oh my god, it sounds awesome.
You're cutting
Except
out
the
quite a
whole
bit.
movie's soundtrack would have to be awesome because it's all just
Yeah.
like you
No,
don't
worry,
get that
there's
triumph
plenty of
charge.
all the punks that used to live in the Pacific Northwest are like migrating southwards because if you're gonna be homeless, at least be homeless where it's nice outside. So they're leaving like Portland and they're just like coming to SoCal to be homeless in a pretty area.
What the
You've
fuck?
got, you've got guys on those Xiaomi and like bird scooters that
Oh,
are just
yeah.
weaving in and out of the cars, rolling through the desert. This could be a
Oh my
great
god,
scene.
this sounds like a great movie. I
Yep.
love this idea.
I kind of dig this. Although I do have to say, kind of rolling back to the Fisker Karma, it's a turbo ecotech, so you really only have one exhaust.
The
So-
turbo's
like-
probably gone out. Years
just
ago.
bypass the turbo. Just
you
running
bypass the
super
turbo.
rich.
In
Yeah, it's
Mad
running
Max
super
land,
rich.
they just
Yeah.
turn it upside down though, so the turbo's gonna stick out of the hood.
If you feed it enough nitrous with no additional fuel, I think it might work.
Perfect.
And we
that's-
know they had nitrous, so remember the
Um,
original Mad Max where they had just that like, it was like a welding tank that was blue, and he just like spun the valve, and his his car just did a burnout at like 80. I'm like, this is such bullshit. Another great movie to watch during the quarantine. The Mad Max series.
Actually, that whole like I'm a nitrous powered high octane burning suicide machine. That was actually that quote.
That was actually blank. That quote. Your microphone cut out again.
Oh,
Should adjust
that
the threshold.
sorry. What's this? I am a fuel injected nitro burning suicide machine. That
Mhm.
was actually from the original.
Yeah,
That's actually is a Mad Max quote.
sounds
that-
right.
Yeah. Hey, so yes, there should
So,
be more
yes.
Mad Max things.
So, in conclusion,
In
yes.
conclusion, yes. We should all wear S&M doors off
no.
our cars, swing
Support
chains
the
of pedestrians.
Support your
Just-
local post-apocalyptic EV efforts.
I need
Yeah,
to find
exactly.
a vinyl that looks like patinaed steel and then wrap the Model S in it.
That'd
Hell
be
yeah.
hilarious.
That'd be super good.
So I want to actually talk about self-quarantine, which is the exact opposite of what Lord Humongous does.
Damn S&Ms.
Yeah, exactly. This is not self-quarantine. I want to talk about our video game recommendations because last time we talked about our movie recommendations.
Animal Crossing. That's
Animal
all.
Okay, apparently Jana's going first. Okay.
Number one, she is into it. She's been nonstop playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I keep falling asleep playing it, so I'm sure that the amount of hours I'm playing it is far greater than what I've actually put into it. Because I keep falling asleep and then being like, oh, I should log into Animal Crossing to get my daily bonus. And then it's like, still playing, and I'm like, oh, I've been on all night.
So, car related, I would say Forza Horizon 4. If you have it, it's way better than it was when it launched. You don't have Toyotas in it. Automation is a great time sink game.
Yep.
Because that game is.
Well, assuming you already have it, Corey.
All right, first lap of the Indy iRacing Challenge, and the entire grid just got taken out by a car accident.
Oh, is it on right now?
There's 3 people that made it through. There's a
What's
guy
it
in
called?
fourth place.
I'm gonna
Just
try to,
check out
like-
everybody.
You linked it in the Discord.
I put the link up in Discord. If you are a patron, you'll be able to see a Discord. The pace car wasn't even off the track by the time that happened.
No.
I got some guy with a Class D license with a 2.47 safety rating.
Yeah,
I'm an indie racer now. Ram.
probably.
Discord.
But yeah, so Forza Horizon 4, huge fan of that game. That game is so much better than it used to be. Automation is wonderful. But I have also some weirdo ones that are car related. Steam. You can get this game called Street Legal Racing Redline, which it came out in like 2004-ish, 2005-ish. It was an open world street racing game
You can rewind the live stream.
for your computer.
I don't want to get content matching.
Super good. And then also Tokyo Extreme Racer if you own a PlayStation Cast.
Oh, I can't reverse the... I was trying to not get content matching from YouTube's auto-crawling thing by flipping the actual video 180 degrees, but we'll roll the dice, I guess. I did put the iRacing indie thing on the stream.
And you can back up the live stream too.
Sorry.
I thoroughly enjoyed Tokyo Extreme Racer. I have 3 and 0 sitting around for the PS2.
All right, so I literally buy Tokyo Extreme Racer 0 so I can give it to friends who have not played it.
Wow.
Like, everybody should have played that game at some point. That is, like, the best street racing game of all time. It is so good. Non-car related, Elder Scrolls Online, huge, great game. The best.
The
MMO
Discord has
you
been
can get.
flooded with ESO shit, so I believe that.
Yeah, it is so good. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, super good. Minecraft with mods. I've been playing with Blake and some of my other friends with all the mods 5. That is a RAM hog, but it's really good. 2 other games, if you're more into more casual gaming, The Grim Fandango is a great point-and-click adventure game. It's an old school...
I've actually heard of that.
It's super funny. I love that game.
I think LGR reviewed that one.
I think so, yeah. It's really, really good. And then also Black Sad. Pretty much the same thing as Grim Fandango, except you can actually directly control your character, and you're a cat. So
Oh, very fine.
it's very good. It's a cat-based film noir, like, adventure game.
I very much approve of this.
You're
Awesome.
Like
It's a great game. I love Black
It's
Sad.
kinda creepy looking.
I mean, I'm not a furry, but, you know, that still sounds pretty okay.
Eric, what are your choices?
My
that you
picks,
recommend to people?
and I'm sure Shane didn't put this in just because I stole it already, but Jackbox party packs, those
Very
are
good game.
pretty much the best thing ever for socializing while gaming during quarantine. I've been playing, for me, a crap ton of Cities Skylines.
It's such a good game.
It's a great game. I played 4 hours of it with just like how you're supposed to play it right out of the box, no mods.
Then you modded it.
And then all of my civilization got super shitty because I couldn't figure out why there was like sewage pollution in the water, even though I had. Anyway, it's a long story. I played with mods and it's even better.
What happened?
I don't know. I could not figure out what the issue was.
Too much water, and you drop the water basin, and then the sewage
My
backflowed.
sewage was downstream, and my water intake was upstream. So it's exactly how you're supposed to do it, and it just all of the sudden happened. I have a save file before that happened, so I'm curious to go back, load that, and see if I can get away without it, because things were going pretty well otherwise.
If you have too many water pumps nearby, what'll happen is it'll actually drop the water basin near the pumps, and the sewage can backflow into the pumps.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
I
you
will
want to watch
look
out
into
for
that. But beyond that, automation, like you said, a great car-based game with, I'm going to call it, the BeamNG's physics engine's not great, but automation's a lot of fun. Even without the DLC, it's pretty okay. And then my old classic favorite, Red Alert 2, I've been playing a lot of that. It's a good time
I've played
suck.
a lot of like old school games too, and this time, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is super fun because they updated the sprites in the game. So like when buildings collapse, they're beautiful. Every single brick individually falls.
I love the remastered old games. Like, don't touch anything. Just make the
That's
graphics
all they did.
better.
Everything is the exact same. They just updated like the animations, and that's it. It's so good. Yeah, I've been playing that. Logged 17 hours in the last week, which is, but
Wow.
that's like one every day when I wake up, I just play a game of it while I'm waking up. So
Except for
that's like
today.
my coffee.
We lured
Except for
you
today.
into Carbitrage.
Yeah.
Shane, what about you? What are you playing?
Oh, I've been doing the Jackbox game hosting as well. That's been going over real fun. I'm trying to make it available to people who, here in my mouth. Anyway, people who don't normally play games or do online or anything like that. So it's trying to make it easily available for them.
I hate when people don't do online.
Yeah. One that I kind of picked up again a little bit. I actually streamed this a while ago, but for car games, if you've ever heard of it, it's called My Summer Car.
Yeah.
Yes.
Used to be great until they took away the goddamn van.
Yes, yeah, that was the challenge I was running through with that one. I started playing it after the van is like an occasional
It's back
spawn
at the
thing.
uncle's house or whatever. You gotta go
Yeah,
borrow
but
it.
only if he's around.
Shut
or
up, Corey.
something.
Nobody cares about your face.
Minecraft as a total time suck, brain turn off, dig, build.
Dude, do you want to play on the on our server?
I'll take a look at it, but I have, you're going to hate me, but I have a significant amount of hours invested in the LTT server, so.
No, I'm not going to
Kill
hate
yourself.
You on that. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean you specifically.
No, I mean, I do mean you, though, specifically.
Yeah.
Here, I think we're friends on here.
I did some live play with Broforce recently. That game is stupid fun for
What
like
is that?
$3. It is a 2D kind of side scroller where you can play with up to 4 people cooperatively, and you're playing just different action characters and stuff from like the 80s and 90s. So you're like Sylvester Stabro and like Bro in Black and John McClane Bro or Die Bro, and just like everybody has a bro name, but it's clearly that character. So
That sounds much
Special
better than
weapon.
most of those other games.
yeah, bust it out with a controller. It's like you can play it on an.
I even
SNES.
have one now. Nice.
There you go.
Sean, I just dropped a link in Discord to our Minecraft server. It's called Totally Badass Beer Drinking Party.
I will take a look at it.
All right,
There you
yeah, we named it that before Minecraft was socially acceptable to play in public. So that was our code word for playing Minecraft. Is we're a Totally Badass Beer Drinking Party.
Sounds good.
A game that I haven't played in a while, but would be good to play right now is BattleBox Theater.
Battle. Oh yeah, Battle. That's a great game.
It's a multiplayer you can play online too, and it's just a fun, easy to pick up game.
Battle
where
Block
you
Theater is great. I love that game so
battle
much.
each other, and your cats. There's
Oh,
cat.
you had me at
guards.
cats.
Yeah, you can't blaze the cat.
You're in a prison with cat guards.
I am in
and
a
you're trying
prison.
to escape.
Yeah,
The
you
cat
are in
It's
a
called my
prison
home.
full of cats. Yeah, it's a prison full of cats.
Well, I just have one, though. It's just this asshole over here.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite games to play. I've almost beat it several times. But that one you do need a controller to play with.
I got for one of these Amazon review things that I've gotten just super balls deep into. They had a really nice Switch Pro controller, but it has USB-C on it. If you plug it into a computer, it works as an Xbox 360 controller. So I've been using
That's
it for
awesome.
nothing but PC games. I was like, hey man, it was free, so I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't blame me on that one.
I mean, you don't have a Switch to use it on, so.
Thank God. Yeah.
Closing out the list, Doom Eternal, which everybody started playing,
Yes.
and I've picked up and then dropped fairly quickly, actually, in favor of, I got really into iRacing. So I wanted to get my license level up and all that so I could actually participate in some of these online race series and such.
Oh,
so.
do you really just want to pit maneuver Sage Karam? Like an IndyCar race?
Yeah, that's really my life goal, is if I could get like on NBC Sports and just like, oh, this tail holder is not keeping up with the and he slides right into the leader.
He's going backward again.
Yep.
Racing
Switching to his live cam. He's not even got his hands on the wheels.
It's a cat.
Oh no, he's just removed his pants.
He's driving with his penis out.
Double bird into the webcam.
I wonder if you can put one of those steering wheel knobs on a Logitech G29. I bet you could.
You totally
Got, like,
can.
a
You know
cigar
why?
hanging out of
Because
your mouth.
Oh yeah, cigar. Just go full 1920s.
He's actually on the couch 30 feet away using a string to move the wheel back and forth.
He is playing with a PlayStation 2 DualShock controller.
His dog has run in, and
Oh
It's
no.
a Mad Catz steering wheel.
Oh no. One of the old PlayStation 1 Mad Catz steering wheels where it was a steering wheel, but it was still like digital only steering. So if you turned it, it was just 100% left or right. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Lock to lock is 45 degrees. I don't think that's enough to pilot an Indy car.
Well, that's where you're mistaken, sir. Anyway, wow.
yeah, so there's some good games to be
Yep.
played out there. Also, in addition to just City Skylines, pretty much anything by Paradox, all their games are just as good as City Skylines.
their DLC
They
model
don't-
is not good, though.
According to
What did
Corey,
Corey say?
their DLC model is not good.
No, the DLC's garbage because all their DLC is like, hey, here's a building. It'll be $10 just for one building.
I do adore the fact that City Skylines plays identically to SimCity, because that was
It does.
a very
it's
refined
SimCity.
game series.
It is everything that SimCity should have been.
SimShitty.
SimCity. Yeah, that's
Nice.
what real SimCity is. SimCity Skyline. SimCity. Gross.
Anyway,
Waffle,
I think gaming is an excellent way to pass time, even semi-socially in these times. But I do want to get back to, I guess, the core topics here. So I'm gonna yank us right on to Arctic trucks. You guys
they do
definitely,
all those awesome Toyotas.
yeah. So
Those
Top
were the
Gear
staple Toyota.
when they
Those
went
were staple Toyota on.
Exactly. Yep. They Top Gear bought 2 Hilux Toyotas, the Invincibles, and they drove to the North Pole with pretty much no other training. So typically they run Toyota pickups because they're extremely reliable, and of course this company is based in basically Finland, Norway, Sweden area. It's actually in Iceland, but for the first time ever, they have
Where'd you say they're
taken.
from?
They're
Iceland.
Iceland.
Oh,
So these got really popular because it's very difficult to get from one side of Iceland to the other via road. It's pretty easy
Yeah.
to fly there, but there's just tons of volcanoes and mountains in the middle. So
Yes.
the Arctic trucks, very popular because they are able to traverse this very bad terrain pretty easily at relatively high rates of speed. They just built an F-150 based Arctic truck, and it looks way cooler than anything that has ever been made by Ford, including the Raptor. I have it up on the stream view right now for everybody, but
yeah.
it runs 47-inch
That's infinitely
Nokian
better.
Hakkapeliitta tires,
that is the most expensive tire in the world.
which they
Can't
can.
wait to see one at my local
Exact
SoCal
tire.
mall.
Oh right, yeah, somebody's definitely gonna buy one and just mall crawl it.
Check out this underglow.
But they get them down to 2.5 psi. They have central tire inflation systems that you run at, all this kind of stuff. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a short bed. What do you call it? Crew cab, I think, with the 4 doors.
Yeah.
EcoBoost F-150 with these just mammoth box flares on it, and I adore these like pre-runner box flares on this thing. But
Yeah, it looks really
that
cool.
that is the coolest looking F-150 I think I've ever seen.
I love that it's like 16-inch wheels with the most giant.
Oh,
tires
yeah.
wrapped around it.
Yep.
That's like none of this. Oh, I'm so sick of fucking bro crawlers out here and shit. It's
bet-
28s or 26s with rubber bands on them.
That thing-
Yeah,
Five
rubber
feet of
band,
jack.
rubber band off-road tires.
Hmm.
So you still have all the road noise of an off-road tire,
It's great.
and all the harsh vibrations of a rubber band tire.
Let's make
It's-
things worse.
I just want to
It
chuck
is
this thing into a corner at like
worse
50
than
miles
everything.
an hour and see what happens. Just I want to experience the lean and the scrub.
Yeah, where was the Stig hot lap with those? That's what I
Oh
want to see.
man! Well, they still have one of them. One of them's in a museum from when they did
Missed
the North
opportunity.
Pole. But yeah, they offer 14 Toyota models, 2 Nissan, and now 1 Ford, which is a lariat spec, just like the most poverty spec F-150 out there too. But I'm sure this thing is $100 grand by the time they're done working on it.
Sure.
But I hate pickups, and I would rock one of these. In
You
the
know what?
winter.
I would take the Toyota over this.
Oh, me too. Absolutely, because the
I've
Toyota's a
got-
diesel, and it's a
Well, not only
Toyota.
that, I just don't have any faith in Ford. Like,
The
it's
second gen
Ford-
EcoBoost is pretty solid. If you can get one of
Yeah.
these with the the 6-speed, not the 10-speed, they're
Well-
pretty good. The 6R80 is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, but that's the thing. Why would I take something where it's like, yeah, this particular one's good, where I can just go like grab a random Toyota?
Yeah, if I'm gonna
Really-
trust my life to a truck in the middle of
It's gonna be a
wilderness, it's
Toyota
going to be a
because-
Toyota. It's not gonna be
Yeah,
an
not-
F-150.
Yes.
No, this is gonna be great for like a rental in Iceland, and that's about it. That's what that's good for.
Or just as the casual winter commuter in Iceland,
Yeah, like that's what that is. It's like a good Iceland vehicle. But if I'm looking for an actual truck, I'm going to go with the Toyota. Like
let's be
I'm
honest.
going to say sorry about that. Jim Hackett needs to do a better job. Like that's it. I just Ford needs to do better.
This is the mental image of what every single Minnesota soccer mom thinks that she needs.
Oh God.
That is exactly what I think about. Yeah.
Well, the specifically more the Lexus like LX 470 or whatever that they did this to too, because it's the same
Yeah.
platform.
The
Oh, Jesus
E150
Christ, I
platform. Yeah.
I have a repeat topic. So, I'm going to move my topic that was going to be the last topic and then make that this topic.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
I'll come back to IndyCar iRacing while you muddle through that then.
Well, no, this is actually a real thing. So there's going to be a new Forza game.
Excellent. I do appreciate that we are probably one of the only podcasts that pronounces Forza correctly.
It will be a phone game, and it will be free, and it will be probably pay to win.
You have a phone, don't you?
Yeah.
Diablo
Guys have
Immortal.
phones, right?
Yep, it is Forza Street, and it looks like trash.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Any free-to-play phone bullshit game. Ugh.
Oh god, yeah,
Pass.
it looks bad.
Pass.
So, it's gonna be a hard pass for me, bro. There's nothing good about that.
Can't wait to go to the microtransaction money tree and start shaking the branches, says Microsoft.
Will my Farmville credit roll over?
No, it won't.
Damn,
And I
what
drive
about my
across
Candy
the
Crush?
Farmville.
I
That
have no
will.
idea.
Use
It's-
V-Bucks,
V-Bucks?
the Fortnite credit.
Oh, no.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Go dab yourself into a concrete barrier.
Let's standardize on one global form of e-currency.
We
for
did. It's
games.
called Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That is
that's
just difficult. Don't download
just
whatever that Forza
stinky
game is.
Garbage. That game is not that.
I don't
Well,
want
they
a
should-
game on my cell phone. Oh my god.
No, like seriously, like that's not what I'm gonna do at all. Is I'm gonna wait to make another Forza Motorsport or another Forza Horizon.
There have been a couple companies that have actually made cell phones with gaming in mind. Wasn't it ROG did one?
Yeah, ROG built one.
Ugh. Stop
ROG
it.
made a gaming phone.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
120 hertz, 4K. Has this massive
120
battery
hertz,
sticking out.
4K, giant battery. I'm sure it runs into a
Gross.
bunch of like thermal management issues with its Snapdragon,
Somebody-
whatever.
It has a fan that
You're-
sticks on it.
Yeah, somebody actually made a phone with a blower fan built in now to deal with gaming.
Oh, good. So when you're talking to somebody on the, you'll have in the background of your.
Are you standing in a
conversation.
vestibule in Minnesota in the winter? What is that blower?
My ear is so cool.
It's lovely, really.
It's so comfortable. Honestly, if there was a cooling system for headsets, I would probably buy it at this point.
There is. It's that dinosaur inflatable costume thing.
I just have a set of
Not my
really-
whole body, just my ears.
You're not.
I'm
You're
really
no
happy
fun.
with my headphones. My ears don't get like sweaty with these
use-
with these headphones.
Yeah.
I'm in a challenge because I'm in a closed back. I always have closed back headphones because apartment life, but
Yeah.
no,
I do too.
they do get toasty. So.
Yeah, my HD 680s have cloth ear pads on them, and they're over here. They're quite warm.
Yes, same sort of story with the SteelSeries Arctics that I have with custom ear pads. So
VR headsets also need to have fans built into them.
yes, yeah, for the
Yes, they
eyes.
do.
Just for everything. You get so warm when you're moving around in a room with a
Well, the
computer
VR
that's just pegged.
You don't have any competition for your VR headset either. So it's just like it's gonna be whatever the manufacturer decides.
See, I thought
So,
that when
yeah,
I
they
had
totally
a
should just do
Vive,
that.
and then when I sent it in after 2 attempts and 6 weeks for a simple warranty claim, then they sent it back to me and said that that particular thing wasn't covered under warranty. I threw it in a lit fire pit and bought a Rift, and then the Rift has been much better. So never ever buy an HTC Vive, but there is competition.
That has been a consistently brought up topic with our with Carbitrage.
Never
for
ever
the
buy a
longest time.
Vive. Buy a Rift
Yeah,
S.
HTC sucks. But yeah, no, I remember hearing that, and I can't disagree with you on that one. It's just,
It is an unbelievable story that I will not recite now, but man.
it really is. It is truly peak unbelievable. One of the most ridiculous stories ever regarding customer service.
It's so bad.
But yeah,
I spent like 8 hours. It was so bad.
Rock.
Anywho, on to my next topic. And no, I'm going to continue to use my ad blocker. Fuck off.
Corina.
Auto insurance during
Discounts for
the
Corina.
pandemic. Never mind. I was going to try to cite a local news source, but I'm not going to anymore. Because they will not let me scroll to the story with an ad blocker on.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Lost my train of thought. So anyway, we've been, like Shane was saying, we've been in kind of rest at home, shelter in place for about a month now, pretty much nationwide, unless you live in Florida, in which case, oof. That probably means that unless you're an essential employee, you're not driving pretty much at all anymore, except for grocery shopping. And if you are, then you're commuting and grocery shopping. So either way, you're probably down something like 75 to 90% on your driving from day to
that's
day.
true.
So this is one thing I actually thought was kind of cool, because without even a lot of, we'll say, complaints to the level of news stories existing from subscribers, insurance companies have decided to discount premiums massively throughout this 6-month period. So it actually started with Geico with a 15% overall premium discount, and then pretty much every major auto insurance provider has followed suit since. I have not researched this enough to know if that's just a monthly premium that is reduced, or if it's a typical 6-month auto insurance premium that's cut. So I would guess it is the 6-month rate where they're cutting 15% typically. But it's kind of nice, because I've cars sitting here, like the Fiat and the Tesla, I'm like, I'm not driving these, and even though they have liens on them, the bank will allow me to have storage coverage on them for up to 6 months at a time. So I honestly thought about calling my insurance company and be like, just put liability, or put comprehensive on it, and that's it, because I'm not driving it. But very cool to know that I don't have to make that phone call now, because that's a significant enough savings where I'm pretty much okay with it. But it's nice to see a move like this from such a corrupt, crooked industry, which is insurance.
Well, so they're playing it off as the positive, we're going to do the right thing, blah, 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 look at this. I'm spinning this around in my head, and I go, look, that's the first thing that's on the chopping block if you're going to cut bills. It's probably your car insurance.
Yep.
So if we just go ahead and proactively give you a little bit of a break on that, we're probably going to see less people actively drop insurance entirely, because same story, no one's going anywhere, and if they're going places, they probably feel like, okay, I could probably get away with it because I'm going back and forth to the grocery store if I just maybe didn't have insurance for a month or two.
Right.
So.
Not that we would ever advocate for that, but I understand where people are coming from, especially when money's extremely tight.
Yes, what with unemployment hitting record highs and all that sort of stuff. It's
Right.
just they're playing it off as the good guys. I'm I'm more cynical than that when dealing with insurance.
I think you're right.
companies.
I think they did the math, and they're like, we're going to lose less money if we do this than if people just start, mass canceling their policies, and we have to start cutting checks.
Well,
Yeah.
I know that they were receiving a whole lot of heat from actually Jalopnik. I saw had an article about.
We still have
how
to buy
insurance-
Jalopnik, by the way.
Yeah. They had an article about how insurance was so expensive still,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people started giving their insurance companies flack, and then they suddenly just came out and did this. So I wonder
You
if
can do that
had
even
anything to do
before
with
the
that.
pandemic. I did that with the last 2 providers I had. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I just went and got quotes for the same coverage, and this is what it was. And they're always like, oh, let me see what I can do. And they come back, and you save a fortune. I'm like, I'm with the same company with the same coverage, and all I had to do was bitch at you with actual data. Like, how badly are you just reaping people over the coals here?
It's
Yeah,
the
my-
same story with Comcast and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
People stop paying attention to their bills on a regular basis, and they just let auto pay go. And until there's a financial impact, they don't look or reevaluate
I
things.
hate recurring shit.
Yeah, my coworker was trying to find insurance because she's got a van that she previously lived in Alaska, and then she's got a Chevy Spark, and her parents are insuring her, but her parents live in Wisconsin, and they have Minnesota plates, so they're like, we can't really get away with insuring you anymore. So she's looking for insurance, and she's like just below 21, so she's still in the really expensive bracket. And
Yeah, the
she
risk
was telling
pools are
me-
nuts.
yeah, she was telling me how much she was quoted, and I was like, keep looking, go find a personal agent. They're gonna find you a better deal, I promise.
The key
you.
is
Like,
Progressive, unfortunately, when you're at that age. It's the
Yeah.
worst insurance company, but if you don't constantly
still
need their
love-
interaction, it's the best
I
rates.
love Progressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Insurance had really good rates when I had a really shitty record, so I will
Okay.
plug them
Yeah.
a little bit too.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy with my Progressive insurance.
Me too, because I don't fucking use it.
Right.
But no, I mean, well, this is the thing. I actually have all of my cars on Progressive. I'm 29 years old, male, clean driving record. But my Cresta, my van, everything that I have insured, I come to about, I think it's like $700 a year. for
God,
everything.
that's so cheap.
wow.
Yeah, it's really cheap. I've got comprehensive on everything.
I've got full coverage on the Tesla and the Fiata with Progressive as my dailies, and it is $680 per 6 months. And I
Yeah,
have them on
that's-
the worst possible deductibles I can with the cheapest company. But when I got sideswiped in
I
the Boxster
do
3
have
years
a
ago,
I do have a $500 deductible, so
oh, that's pretty good. I run 1,000. That's as low as I can go, or as high as I can go, rather. When I got sideswiped in the Boxster 3 years ago, I was with Farmers still, and the person who hit me, and I had on record and recording from the police, everything. 100% at fault, this guy. It took me 92 days to get through and get them to pay me out. So Progressive's
that,
not good. But, again,
Yeah.
if you don't have a propensity to actually need to use your insurance, it's
Yeah.
totally fine.
So I actually went to Progressive because I was in an accident and the person that hit me had Progressive. And I was so thrilled because State Farm and my old insurance agent
You're cutting out,
so
Ryan.
forth.
Cutting out super bad.
But yeah, he was awful, and I will actually rake him through the coals personally. I wish I had his insurance card on me. But yeah, that particular insurance agent was the biggest douche in the world, and I hate him to this day. And actually, my father, who was his client for 35 years at the time of this accident, what he did to me, like to try and like pin it all on me, even though I was turning left and the person that rear-ended me was rear-ended by somebody that ran a red light 3 people
And
back
texting.
and texting and driving,
And a rental.
and somehow they were trying to say it was my
Oh, that's
and
good.
so I'm just like,
Chain
oh, there's a
reactions are
crash in
so
pit
much
row.
fun.
There's a
Oh,
crash
there was
in
a.
row over-
If you guys are watching that, yeah, there's
Yes.
a bunch of super hilarious stuff, which is coming back to it. Why virtual racing is way better, because you're not going to lose your sponsorship by accidentally hitting somebody in pit row.
It's so funny. But anyway, so yeah, so I just told my insurance agent to shove it and take all my cars off his thing. You sure you're not giving? I don't care. I don't have insurance anyway. Like, you're an asshole. So I went with Progressive. The Progressive dude was super nice. I got paid out within a week.
That's
Like,
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was really, really nice. None of it went on my record. Even when I switched over to Progressive, it never showed up that I was in a car accident. It was great. Like,
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it'll show up on the
thrilled with
VIN if you use the body shop, but other than that, that's
Well,
great.
yeah, no, the VIN is not. It's not my car anymore, so I don't care.
Ah.
We
But as
sold
far
it
as
very
my
soon
payments go,
after that.
it makes no effect to me. So yeah, I love my Progressive. They're great. But I think that's the thing.
Well,
it's just,
Progressive,
like,
if you're looking to sponsor a podcast, let me tell you, Carbitrage would be happy to have you on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very good point.
Use code I hit shit at the Progressive webpage.
So,
Nice.
moving on, I have a new final topic. here.
Perfect.
The Isuzu Plaza Museum is
Mhm.
providing virtual tours.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
And as we all know, Isuzu is secretly the coolest car company. And the reason is that their ratio of very good cars to cars they actually is like 100%.
No, I mean, the real reason is they made the Vehicross.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like they made the Vehicross, which is awesome. But like whenever they make an actual car, it's awesome. Like almost all their cars have been designed by either Michelotti, Bertone, or Pininfarina.
Now, remind me, the Vehicross is the small SUV that looks like somebody watched an episode of that TV show Viper and was like, dog, I can make a tall version of this.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was somebody saw
it's
that,
great.
had an Amigo, and then decided to just do it.
Yeah, and it looks awesome. And then the Iron Man edition, which had red leather seats.
All of them had factory Recaro seats and Momo steering wheels.
It's cool as hell. The
It's
Vehicross
so
is great.
cool. I still really want to buy one of those and use the Amigo 5-speed manual to manual swap one because they were
Well, they
all
also-
4-speed auto.
Well, they also had the Piazza, which was their two-door hatchback, rear-wheel drive, Lotus tuned suspension sports car from the 1980s.
Well, and they
They
had
had
the
a
Impulse,
turbocharged-
the iMark.
Yep. The iMark, the Impulse, the Chevy Love truck with the heart-shaped steel
So
wheels.
cool.
Isuzu.
Yep.
Then that was actually called the Isuzu Faster, is its real name, which is great. Their vehicle names are the best because their big truck, the Isuzu MPR in America, is called the Isuzu Elf in Japan. But they actually in the 60s they made a Nissan GTR killer, actually. A car that was a competitor to the Hako and Camry Skylines and beat them with a 4-cylinder.
What was it
And that
called?
was the Isuzu Bellet GTR, which is very cool. But yeah, so their museum is it's the cars are small, but it's like probably 50% trucks, 25% engines, and then 25% other car stuff. But like even when they make their trucks, it's really cool. So yeah, it's this whole building that's just like all commercial trucks and then all really rad cars. It's everything that Carbitrage loves. All. But yeah, they're doing virtual tours now. So
How do you take
Big fan of
advantage of one of
Isuzu.
those virtual tours?
if you go to let's see here, JapaneseNostalgiaCar.com, you should have a link somewhere in this article. I literally just brought it up. The hell, where is
I
it?
do have their video playing in the stream,
Perfect.
which looks
So-
like it's done in Blender. This is definitely CG, but it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, there's a way to get to it. I'm trying to figure this out. If you read the article at JapaneseNostalgiaCar.com, you'll figure that out. How about
Cop-out
that? Let's leave
answer.
it that way. I am sorry. I had to come up with something. I think this video might be part of it, but I think they're doing a larger project here. But yeah,
Isuzu is just like the good stuff that sits in the back corner. It's like the power color
Yeah.
yeah,
PC
like, that's-
hardware of cars. Like, this is actually really good, you know? I'm like, really? Yeah.
It's a very cool. It's the coolest company you don't think of.
Don't mind our terrible branding and marketing. Trust
Right.
me, it's actually good.
Yeah,
stuff.
Like, we
like,
actually put
they-
all of our money into making things good.
So if you look at that car at the top of the screen, that's actually the Isuzu one, which was a Pininfarina, if I'm not mistaken, design.
Yeah, I think it has the PF logo underneath the
Yeah,
side
I think it has a
dash there.
Pininfarina, but it looks just like a Fiat Dino. It looks identical to a Fiat Dino, and those were actually hand built.
And it's got the single left side fender mirror, so you know it's Japanese.
Oh yeah, that's great. But,
Still regret
oh,
not
sorry,
getting that
that
for
was
my FJ.
Giorgetto Giugiaro.
Was that
and-
the Giugiaro design?
Yeah, this is Giugiaro design. Just looked it up. But yeah, so Giugiaro, the greatest designer of everything.
The most versatile designer, anyway.
He really is the most versatile. It's like one day he makes a Volkswagen Golf, the next day he makes a Lotus Esprit. Like, you know.
Oh, and the next day he does like
whatever.
a coffee grinder. It's like,
He'll do a coffee grinder.
Your
And then,
tires need better designs. I will help you.
Yeah. He actually did design a tire.
I think we talked about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have an episode that's pretty much fully devoted to Giugiaro.
Yeah, then he'll do like the Psycho Speedmaster wristwatch or something. Like just like the Beretta CX or CX4 Storm assault rifle. You know, just like they make ridiculous stuff. So yeah,
Yes.
it's beautiful. Like Isuzu, when they make a car, like once they only make a handful, everyone is so good.
Well, it's
Like they're
well, I mean, they even made the engine for the Lotus Elan, right?
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did the Lotus Elan engine, but they make like just bizarre things that like you don't think about. That like it's a cool thing that sits in the corner. And that's what I love Isuzu. They're one of my favorite brands. And everybody gets really like shook when I say like, you're like, what's your favorite Japanese car brand? I'm like, Isuzu's up there. They're pretty cool actually.
That probably catches them off guard, I would guess.
Oh, people are just like, wait, what? And then since that was actually a really super short topic, it's Mazda's 100th anniversary, so they actually did a custom color scheme for the Miata that's replicating the R360, which is another very
nice.
cool Japanese car. So white with a red top. The R360 is one of Jana's favorite Japanese cars.
Oh, come on. You can't call that a custom color. They just put a red top or a tan top on the white car.
But they're replicating the R360 in all
Right.
their press photos. They've got the
It-
R360 in it.
It should be cream. Look at that. That's clearly not the same white.
No, it's not. It should be cream.
That's
But they also did it with the CX3, which also looks really good, actually, with the red top. But
Yeah, I
oh my
get
god,
that.
Jana, you need to look at these press photos. These are really cute. Because they have all these photos with the Miata, and the R360 is so happy. Oh my god. Eric, do you want to bring up the other link that I...
Well, I'm not gonna be looking at it right now.
Oh, you just
I know,
added
but
it?
Yeah, I just added it. If you want to bring it up, these photos that they did with the R360,
Oh.
this car brings joy. This car, all it does is bring joy. Like, it is the cutest car. It was the first four-stroke K car, actually. So it's
I bet
so
it was
cute.
very slow.
Actually, it was faster than the Subaru 360. So yes, but
Very
relatively,
slow.
it's relatively,
the high water mark you're claiming there.
yeah. But I mean, in the era for Japan, like it was actually pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually created the first K car power war was the R360. I love that photo with the Miata in the back through the back window or through the windshield. Oh, it's so cute.
Hi.
It's so
Hi.
cute. Holy crap! I love that car.
I love that the ND is a manual, so there you go.
That is a good point. Yeah, so we should be happy about that. But yeah, I just needed to add that on because I needed to make a little bit more time here.
I'm
And
just always disappointed by special editions that are like clearly bolt-on special editions. Like, oh, we changed
like
the top.
the
and we put some
350Z
different...
Nismo?
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
Hey, we're gonna add a bumper. We're gonna add some wheels and change effectively nothing
To
else. Maybe some
be
seats.
fair, at least that looked better.
It
looked
did.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, this
but
one,
I'm
this
just
is
saying with this,
custom
I'm like,
red leather interior. Like,
come on, man. You could have given me a decal package or a proper, just
proper
like
cream.
the
like the
cream
proper
color
cream
is
had been
really
pitched.
peeving me out because Mazda has done special editions with custom colors. I mean, they did the orange. What was it? Which version Miata was that one? That was bright orange. That they did.
Oh, I
as a
know the one you're
limited.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, well, why
What?
can't you? Yeah.
NB or an NC?
ND, the latest one.
Well, we
Oh.
can talk about the club edition Miatas as well. where like they actually put in a factory roll cage on them.
The
Like,
club
Mazda's-
NCs were awesome.
Yeah, you can actually make really cool special editions.
Actual club, like not the ones with like the club logo that didn't actually have a cage or anything that were
Yeah,
stupid.
but no,
I
like, you
still
get
like
the ones
those
that have the
too.
cage in them.
Yeah.
When I was working at BP, there was a old lady who had a club Miata with a roll cage in it.
Mhm.
It was one of my favorite people ever. It was so funny.
It was the 30th anniversary Miata, and it was bright goddamn orange. It is, and I loved it. It was like bright orange, black wheels, looks great. But I'm just like, this
Well,
feels
black
this
wheels
feels-
never look good, but yeah, the orange is
on an
cool.
orange car. It worked.
No.
I think.
No,
Was that last year? It was 2019, right?
false.
Yeah, I remember that car.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looked really good. I like the fact that they're doing all their ads with the R360 in this, because that car just brings so much.
And you know they own that car still too.
No, they actually.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did they do that, they actually did a rotisserie restoration on this one, bunch of students that were to work on cars
rotisserie.
Nice.
at the local community college. So yeah, Mazda's been going through, like their 100th anniversary has been huge for them. So they've gone through and taken all their most notable models throughout history, and they've had teams of engineering students do rotisserie restorations on them with people, surviving members of the original production team from the
Wow.
cars. So it's really cool watching them do this. We did an article like way back on how they restored this R360, but I'm really happy. Oh, there's a link to it, restored by Hiroshima High School students in 2017. But yeah, super cool. I love it. So Mazda and Isuzu, two of the best brands in the world. So
The two
That's my
of the
top
best,
tip.
sure.
that's my Carbitrage top tip, is the best brands, Mazda and Isuzu.
Isuzu. It sounds like you say it Izuzu.
It should be Isuzu.
Isuzu.
Isuzu. Yeah.
So is
But
Joe
American.
coming back, or does that guy go into retirement, or what's the situation? Joe Isuzu. Come on.
Oh, God.
I forgot the.
No, he gone. He gone.
He's gone.
He smoked too many cigarettes. He did. He
All
did.
right. Well, I think on that bombshell,
Fuck.
we should end the episode.
That's fair.
Thank you so much for listening to us talk in your ear about
Yep.
Isuzus and Mazdas and good in the world.
We're gonna keep coming at you every week, whether or not we're in
Yes.
Isolation. So obviously, we're looking forward to getting back in the studio
guy
and
just
having regular
spun out
automotive
coming
use
from
again.
Jets.
But I think that's gonna be, more than a month probably. So stay tuned for more Discord, Twitch fueled episodes every other weekend for recording and every week for your consumption.
Oh my God! Wait a second. Hold up. Before we leave,
Yeah.
did you know Giorgetto Giugiaro designed the Chevy Cruze?
What?
I did not know that.
He did the Daewoo Lancetti, which was the Chevy.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because that was by far the best looking product they had at that time in 2008.
Now that's a top tip.
Buy a Cruise diesel manual. There you go.
Bombshell.
Boom.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.